movies for black girl nerds.
Thank you, gents, for your time. Wow, season
Thank you.
3 is back again, and I'm still very fearful of this family
Yeah.
and what's happening. I love that the two of you are paired this season because it sounds like the women are trying to kind of push you guys out of the immediate decision making for Jericho this season. Toby, beginning with you. For Sean, you know, he still has business going, he's still cooking, he's still doing his things. How will his relationship with the care of Jericho and just running this household start to change courses a little bit this season?
Yeah, I think he's really trying to force that everything's okay, right? So it's a plastered smile. He's, we're good, right? So we're good. So the baby and we're good, and the wife and we're good. So I think it's very much trying that. Trying to block out anybody that says, no, this isn't right, which includes my dear brother-in-law, played by Rupert. So, yeah, it's just a very uncomfortable position. And I'm not entirely sure he's that unhappy with the fact that he's been taken out of decisions as long as the baby's okay and my wife's okay. You know, he's finding it very hard to face the grievance and the terrible tragedy. So he's good. Let's just keep it like this and try and make it perfect. And then work starts to get better, and he's kind of doing a reset, which is probably quite dangerous for Sean.
Definitely. But Rupert, Julian is still my favorite character because he's skeptical of everything. And I'm a skeptic when it comes to anything that doesn't look right. Is he going to continue to be this truth sayer? Why won't anyone take what he's saying seriously? It seems like the substance things are kind of getting behind him. Why can't they take his word?
I know. I think all the characters should just listen to Julian because he's probably right. But no, I think that is the thing with Julian. I think that comes to the surface in this a lot. I mean, we deal with a lot of the kind of religion themes in this season, particularly with the cult and everything. And I think the way Sean is kind of getting more kind of entangled and in the belief of this kind of divine power that kind of alienates Julian slightly because he is this kind of quite devout atheist. And the fractures in their relationship is something that I think both the characters struggle with, but Julian doesn't have that kind of ally anymore. And I think now that he's sober as well, I think he feels quite kind of exposed. He's now kind of got this kind of clear mind to face his guilt, his role in the tragedy. So it's kind of quite it's a very different Julian, I think, this time around, particularly in the first part of this season. So it's been interesting seeing that side of him.
For sure. He's changing on us, but but doing better things for himself. So we want him to be a little bit more sober. I was talking to Lauren and Nell before I talked to you guys about wild fan theories that they've heard about the show. M. Night Shyamalan projects have those supernatural qualities and waiting for the shoe to drop and trying to find the clues of what's happening. One of the fan theories that Lauren mentioned, she heard that, Toby, that your character Sean was a doll. It wasn't a real person like the fake baby. Have you heard any wild fan theories about your character or the show yourself?
I haven't heard that one, although I like it. I think the weirdest one I heard, but also not the weirdest necessarily, the one I liked, was that Julian's actually the husband, I'm the brother-in-law, and it's this situation that Dorothy's confused, and Nell's actually her Leanne is her nurse. So she's actually in a situation where she's actually already gone into the institution. So that would be interesting. It'd be an interesting twist, but who knows? Who knows? There's all kinds of good ones out there. Maybe they should write for us. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Knight said that he can't read them because it alters the course of his writing and he starts leaning that way, so he has to stop. But they're giving me the wraps. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. Excited to see the full season, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeandra LeBeauf, Black Girl Nerds. Thank you, sir, for your time this morning. I appreciate it.
Definitely. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. We're back with the family, and the family bonds and the family relationship dynamics are changing as they continue this battle for Jericho. Is the family coming together as a unit, or is the family starting to split even further apart this season?
I think there's more of a fracturing that happens this season. I mean, the beauty, I think, of being able to know where you're going is you can be confident in these movements. I think, long form sometimes, relationships will be like they fall in love, then they fall out of love. Now they're in love again, and then everybody, you constantly trying to change just to change. But for us, this fracturing is very important. The thing we're talking about, because this is a family that's pretending that something tragic didn't happen, and that just can't last.
Mm-hmm. It seems this season like they're separating themselves almost by gender. It seems like the ladies are on one accord, the gentlemen are on one accord. Are the women truly kind of traveling the same path, or are they having their own internal struggle over who is Jericho's true caregiver?
It's funny you should say that. I don't see it like that. I see it a lot like this story is a lot about these two women, about a mother that doesn't get to mother, and a child that doesn't have a mother, and so that pressure for this unnatural pairing that actually in some ways need each other, but they can't service each other in this capacity, is this the basic tension, and these two guys kind of spinning and trying to keep them apart, is how I kind of see the dynamics.
As we are going through this season, we know that Leanne, something is looming for her from the Colt family that she's left, that we've learned over seasons 1 and seasons 2. She doesn't seem to be more emboldened in her choice to leave that. In fact, she seems a lot more fearful. Is that the trend for her, to be living in that constant state of waiting for the shoe to drop?
For a good portion of season 3, yes, but then there'll be a distinct turn on that front when things change with regard to her feelings about being scared and looking over her shoulder.
Mm-hmm. I was talking to Lauren and Nell before, and I asked them about wild conspiracy theories that they've heard about the show. And Nell mentioned that she heard one that Sean may be a doll, maybe he's not a real person, and just some wild theories. Have you personally seen any wild fan theories about the show?
Well, sometimes someone will read something in the office and they'll mention it to me, but I actually try to stay really focused, because I get very influenced by anybody. Like someone texts me and they'll say, I know what's happening, and they'll start to text me a friend or something, and I'll say, stop, don't say it, don't. I don't want to have to go that direction and go against it. And they go, oh, why are you being so funny about this? I'm like, don't say anything. I just watch the show. You'll see.
Absolutely. Well, I tend to watch it like this. Well, I thank you for your time. Another exciting season. I'm glad to see it back, and thank you again for your time this morning.
Thank you very
much. As I raise my cup to you, Lauren, I'm right in the same boat with you.
I don't have any tea.
That's okay. You are the tea.
Coffee time here. I can spill the tea.
Thank you, ladies. It's a pleasure to be back for season 3 and finding out how the family is starting to change their dynamic. Nell, beginning with you, it seems like your character, Leanne, and Dorothy are starting to get on the same accord in terms of their commitment to raising the baby in the home. Are they on the same accord, or are they drifting in different ways, so to speak?
I think they both have the same intentions, which is to protect Jericho at all costs, to make sure that Jericho is as safe and happy as he can be. But there's this newfound kind of power struggle. I mean, there's always been a little bit of a who is the true caretaker of Jericho between the two of them, but I think it really reaches boiling point when we find us in sort of certainly in the later episodes of season 3. Yeah, I just think that there's definitely a little bit of a tug of war going on about who truly knows what's best for the baby. So it's a little intense. Who loves that baby more?
At this point, I'm going to move in and take care of Jericho too. I mean, why not? You know, it's
I
pretty
don't think
nice.
you want to do that.
Lauren,
It is a nice house.
It
is a
is
good house.
gorgeous. It is gorgeous. The kitchen is everything for me.
We love
Lauren,
that kitchen.
Lauren, for you, for Dorothy, we see Dorothy is still trying to find that sort of balance and kind of get back into her career and not let that aspect of her life die. But she's having some struggles. Will she be able to find balance at a time where the foundation of her life is still on shaky ground?
Nope. No balance. Yeah, I guess she's striving for everything to be okay, for happiness and equilibrium. But yeah, you know, her whole life at this point is basically built on this tower of lies, and that, you know, keeps continually being perpetuated by everyone else in this house. And no one will help her face this grief, all of them, to face the grief of the loss of this child. And so it's just, I mean, each thing gets worse and worse with that.
Mm-hmm. Usually, historically, M. Night Shyamalan projects have that supernatural effect to them. And I find with this show, it keeps me intrigued is I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, what's just around the corner? What's going to happen? And it makes me anxious. Nell, have the fans given you any wild conspiracy theories of what they think is happening with Leanne and what the supernaturalness of the show is? Have you seen any wild theories of what's going on?
Yeah, I've definitely seen some. I had one that Leanne was a ghost. Then there was another one that only Dorothy could see Leanne, which is a little tricky if you break it down. That one I think is a little harder to pass. There was one that this is all Julian's dying dream. So like that was like a little bit of a Wizard of Oz situation. There was another one that Toby's character Sean is turning into a doll, and that his life is the and that his life is the final payoff for Jericho's life, because, you know, those splinters start coming out of him, and then Uncle George gives him that doll that looks like a chef, and it was like they were foreshadowing that Toby was slowly, you know, losing his taste and his smell and his sight until eventually he would just be like a marionette, which would be really fucking cool, but I don't know if that's the way it's gonna go. Sorry for swearing.
Those are some better theories than I heard. And Lauren, lastly, for you, for Dorothy, I'm just so worried about her connection to reality and what's actually going on. Can we, I want to say what's going to happen, but we have to watch the show. If you could
watch it. I think it's going to be that we all used to be babies. That's my theory.
That's a good one. Ladies, they are hooking me out of here. Thank you for another great season.
Nice to see you again.
I binged it, the whole thing in one setting.
Oh, good. Oh, good, good.
Cool.
Thank you, ladies.
Nice talking to you again. Bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerds. Better shake your booties for black girl nerds.